everyone, and welcome to the Power of Choice, the NTC Live FB orientation session for new students of the School of Teacher Education. We are delighted that you were able to join us today as you begin your journey in our beloved Tanglao. I am Paulo Joseph Blando. I am the Academic Affairs Coordinator, and I will be your moderator this afternoon. We now invite you for a short prayer, and we shall be singing the Philippine National Anthem afterwards. So join me in praying. God, our source of all strength and inspiration, we praise you for the gift of another school year. Grant us pardon for the times when we failed to celebrate the meaning of a new beginning. Thank you for despite this crisis, we continue to be blessed with your saving grace. Send forth your Spirit so that we may continue building our nation through education. Amen. The Philippine National Anthem. National Teachers College is dedicated to offering industry-responsive degree programs for students who aspire to enhance the quality of life of their families. Let us now hear some words of welcome from the Dean of the School of Teacher Education, Dr. Ferdinand Pitagan, who will also walk us through the various offerings of the school and introduce us to the leaders and the faculty members. Dr. Pitagan.
Thank you very much, Paulo. And once again, we would like to welcome you at the National Teachers College School of Teacher Education. We would like to thank you for taking time to attend your orientation as new students. We would like to thank you for choosing NTC. As Paulo has mentioned, NTC has a long history of excellence and service in terms of teacher education. We would walk with you, we would hold you throughout the process of your stay with NTC so that you would be a flexible, adaptive, compassionate, and flexible teachers, especially during this new normal. So once again, we welcome you to the National Teachers College. My name is Ferdinand B. Pitagan. I'm your dean. So if you do have any clarifications, any questions, and inquiries, you may reach me through the Facebook page of the School of Teacher Education or through my personal email. So thank you for choosing Tanglao, and thank you very much for choosing NTC. Thank you very much. Carlo, next slide, please. As I've mentioned, the School of Teacher Education is nearing its 100 years of offering excellence and service to the nation, as we are the standard bearer of the National Teachers College, dedicated to honing, training, reskilling our future teachers so that they would manifest high performance in the exercise of the noblest and the most loved profession, which is teaching. At NTC, we also commit ourselves to be the premier school for advanced studies for innovative institutional managers and leaders who are committed to the culture of excellence in teaching, in research, in learning, and in service. In NTC, our brand promise is that you would have your simplest beginning and your remarkable endings. Next slide, please. So at the NTC, we have programs from the Doctor of Education, major in educational leadership, to the Masters of Education, which has 14 tracks, which has 14 strands. We also have the Masters of Counseling and the Certificate in Professional Teaching program. At the undergraduate level, we have the Bachelor's degree of Secondary Education. We have the Bachelor's degree in Elementary Education, Early Childhood Education, special need physical education, and technical and livelihood education major in home economics. We have a full gamut of courses that you already have to choose from, but you could also tell your friends, your classmates from high school, even your family members, that whatever brand or program of education, we are sure that we have a strand for you in NTC. Next question, please. Next slide, please. At NTC, we have the world-class flexible leaders. I am a consultant at UNESCO in the inclusive OER. OER stands for Open Educational Resource. As you may well know, during the pandemic, most of 185 countries around the world has put forth technology as continuation of the education. And in the forefront of that would be Open Educational Resource. We have the DepEd Commons, and now we have the knowledge management of CHED, which is actually branded as Open Educational Resources. So I'm doing now projects with UNESCO Paris for a more inclusive OER. I am also a graduate of the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan for my PhD under the Mombusho Scholarship, and I was a DOST scholar also at the University of the Philippines. Our program head for BESET, which is Miss Chu Soriano, Professor Chu Soriano is from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and she is now taking her doctorate study at the National Teachers College. Our Miss Katrina Rosada is our academic staff. She finished her bachelor's degree and her master's degree from the National Teachers College. We are still looking for, and hopefully we would have a program head for your BE Ed. So hopefully he would come on board as soon as possible. The three of us is always willing to assist you, especially that you are new students in this particular at NTC. So please let us know if you do have any clarifications. Carlo, please. Next slide. We also have expert and compassionate tenured faculty. So these are our tenured faculty. Dr. Joan Diaz, Dr. Eddie Bulunadi, Dr. Beth Matira, and we have a whole gamut of experts from different programs, from different strands of education, Professor Gregorio, Professor Balon, Professor Bermudez, Professor Balaga, Professor Batusan, and Professor Ariola. We also have Professor Ellen Paraino, Professor Rocha, Professor Aceron, Professor Castante, Professor Jack Salas, and Professor Rousseau. So most of their teachers would be your corresponding teachers during your stay at NTC because they cut across different majors, especially in general education. And also, Carlo, next slide, please. We are augmented by an agile, adaptive, and flexible other full-time and part-time faculty members. As you can see, we are having a faculty meeting during the Zoom meet. So this is how adaptive, how compassionate and agile and yet flexible your faculty members are. And this is also the platform that you're going to use for your courses. Next, please. So at NTC SOTE, as we lovingly call the School of Teacher Education, whether you are in modular correspondence education or whether you are in online learning, we are guaranteeing your access to success. There is a congruency of the design of your module and also that of your online learning platforms. This is to foster inclusive education so that no one would be left behind. At the same time, you would be provided with equal opportunity to do your courses, do your assessment, participate in learning experiences and learning activities. So whether you are in modular correspondence education, whether you are in modified online learning at NTC, uh, SOTE is guaranteeing that you would have equal access to success. Next, Carla. As a part of our ongoing process for efficiency and effectiveness, we enjoin you all, especially the new students, to please be a member of the SOTE Facebook group. It is called the School of Teacher Education, the National Teachers College School of Teacher Education. Look for the logo and also the official community group. This would be our main platform for communication, especially as we start your classes next week. Wait for our further announcement. When would be your first synchronous session? It means to say, when would be your first classes for your enrolled courses? We will be giving you the final schedule, at the same time your sync link, your sync meeting link, so that you would be able to meet with your teachers. Also, at this particular Facebook group, we have created a thread for those who would be creating their own GCs, their own group chats for individual courses. So hopefully all of you would be a member of this Facebook group so that there will be easier communication from our parts, from the parts of your teachers, going to you, and also harnessing your comments and suggestions. May I also may I just reiterate that please give us ample times, especially your teachers, to answer all your inquiries. Okay. So with that, we would like to welcome you again to SOTE. We would like to welcome you again to the National Teachers College, and hopefully your stay with us would be as fruitful, as collaborative, in order for us to continue serving our nation, especially during this time that the teachers are also considered as frontliners in our continuity to education. Thank you very much again, everyone. Salamat sa pagpili sa Tanglaw. Salamat sa pagpili ng NTC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pitagan. We are proud to tell you that NTC is one of the institutions that actively engaged with various agencies and networks in pursuing the continuity of learning. To give us an appreciation of this, we shall hear a message from Dr. Edison Fermin, our Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Fermin is an expert in adaptive, innovative, flexible, and resilient education, and currently provides advice to the Commission on Higher Education concerning the implementation of flexible learning in colleges and universities. Dr. Fermin?
Isang mapagpala at mapagpalayang hapon sa ating lahat. Ikinagagalak kong makasama ang mga bagong kandidato para maging mga bagong frontliners ng sistema ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas. It is with great pride that I welcome the virtual class who's entering this academic year to our School of Teacher Education. As Dean Ferdy Pitagan has mentioned, you're entering one of the premier institutions for teacher education in the country. And this afternoon, what I hope to do is to be able to convince you that indeed you make the right choice in coming to the National Teachers College, insofar as the decision to exercise the power of your choice is concerned. I'd like to begin by showing you on the next slide that our academic environment is founded on over 9 decades of building the nation through education. Meantime, on the next slide, you will be shown that after 9 decades of building the nation, the National Teachers College decided to move forward in the direction of making educational innovation happen much faster. In fact, in 2018, Ayala Corporation Education managed to acquire the National Teachers College in the hopes of producing more teachers who can serve the education sector. Shortly a year after, the Yuchenko group of companies saw the value of coming together as a system of schools under the company merger called iPeople Incorporated. So we are now standing on the shoulders and are being guided by industry giants. Under iPeople Incorporated, the following schools have come together to create a formidable network of educational institutions that really will contribute to building our nation through education, namely Mapua University, the country's finest engineering university, along with the Malayan colleges of Laguna, the Malayan colleges of Mindanao, based in Davao City, the Malayan High School of Science in Manila, APEC or Affordable Private Education Center schools founded by Ayala. You have the University of Nueva Cáceres based in Naga City, and of course, our very own Tanglao, the National Teachers College. More than being founded and managed now by industry giants, on the next slide, you will find out that the value of the education provided by our school is also heavily premised on a long history of enabling and empowering leadership by outstanding men and women of character, many of whom have actually served our country in very special capacities, such as former Philippine President Jose P. Laurel, who was the first Chancellor of the National Teachers College. Currently, we are being led by Mr. Alfredo Antonio I. Ayala, whose business education background at Harvard University in the United States continues to be a source of strategic guidance for everyone in the institution as we embrace more changes in making Tanglao grow and expand in terms of impact and influence. Meantime, on the next slide, we would like you to know that you are now part of a school that takes pride in a distinct philosophy in democratic education, or in Filipino, malaya at mapagpalayang edukasyon, which is directed towards enhancing your sense of individual responsibility so that you can participate better in social processes. So take note, here, your education does not mean it's only good for yourself, but more importantly, it's going to be good for the other people around you in order, as we have mentioned earlier, to build one Filipino nation. Meantime, on the next slide, I would like you to understand that when we translate our philosophy into actual practices, we begin by trying to explain that when you become part of the National Teachers College, whether you are a student or an employee, you actually have what we call simple beginnings. And if you engage properly in our school, you will likely have your own remarkable ending. And through our system of affordable, quality private education, we hope that indeed your stories of simple beginnings and remarkable endings will shine through throughout your journey. How do we do this? The next slide gives you an idea of what matters to us in building our curriculum and instruction context. Here, the National Teachers College takes pride in shifting towards industry-driven outcome-based learning. What does this mean? Whatever future schools or the Department of Education or other global agencies attached to teacher education will require graduates of teacher education programs, we make sure that they are woven in our curriculum and instruction context. Most importantly, you don't only deal with only knowledge, with only skill, or with attitude only at National Teachers College. We put them together in such a way that we can paint exactly the outcome of the learning processes that we have put together over the last few years. Part of this outcome-based learning environment is a focus on some core competencies, as you may have noted, or as you will note on the next slide. But part of this environment towards working on core competencies is that we first believe that anyone and everyone has the gift to learn. That is why the National Teachers College has always remained true to its commitment of opening its doors to any type of learner through its open admission, but take note, we have a selective retention policy. That means to say, while anyone can enter the school, we have put up our policies to determine who should stay with us until graduation. And hopefully, you will get to know more of these promotion and retention policies in the coming days. Now, on the next slide, I will begin talking about the core competencies that we offer our students. You know, our founders believe that if every student is capable of communicating properly, of building relationships with others, of making sense of the issues around them, therefore they can become productive citizens. So among the core competencies that we want each of you, our dear new students, for you to acquire in the coming days, weeks, months, and years would be the following. The next slide shows you one of the things that we are very much particular about, and hopefully you'll be able to pick that up well. Here, we take pride in trying our best to make our students and employees get immersed in an English-rich environment because English is the international language of social mobility. It is imperative for us to teach you how to communicate in a language that can build and open opportunities for you. Aside from this, as you will note on the next slide, is that at the National Teachers College, we also want you to be competent in making yourselves understand that what you learn in school is very much useful in trying to understand and connect with your respective communities. Hindi lahat ng mga mag-aaral o hindi lahat ng mga kabataan ay pinalad na magkaroon ng isang makabuluhang edukasyon tulad ng inyong mararanasan sa National Teachers College. Kung kaya, minamarapat namin lalo na sa pamamagitan ng NSTP o National Service Training Program na ipakilala sa inyo ang mga simulain at ang mga gabay na gawain upang kayo ay maging mga produktibong kasapi ng inyong mga pamayanan. Aside from this, as you will note on the next slide, you will have an opportunity to understand that here at the National Teachers College, we care so much about enhancing your employability. I am pleased to let you know that a good majority of our graduating students as of the second semester of school year 2019-2020, even while we are locked down and we are suffering from this pandemic, a huge percentage of our graduating students have already received and accepted job offers. And take note, they are yet to get their diplomas on September 19 yet. And at this moment, they already have been offered their employment opportunities. Because we understand that your parents and your families actually invested in your education because you need to help them out the soonest time possible. And through our Career Placement Services Office, headed by Mr. Roger Loria, as early as the second year, we will be exposing you to career development opportunities. And we will guide you until such time that you will be applying for your specific job postings come your fourth year. Meantime, on the next slide, I'd like to walk you through into an appreciation of the choices that we needed to make in order to make sure that school year 2020-2021 will happen. And for us at Tanglao, these are the choices to continue, to adapt, and to succeed. First, on the next slide, I'd like to emphasize the most important reason why we want you to continue learning. Based on our research, every time a student continues studying for at least 1 year, there is an additional 10% of probability of additional future earnings. So if you do the reverse of that, which is for you to stop 1 year, you are diminishing the probability of you getting gainful employment and better salaries. The second reason why we need to choose to continue learning is shown on the next slide, which tells you the story of students who in World War II stopped schooling. And what did the research tell us about this? They had significantly experienced a lot of negative impact on their total development as individuals until 40 years later. And so, given this pandemic, which is almost similar to a war, it's the war against the disease, we cannot afford that anyone would just stop learning. So we did our best to actually make the tuition readily available for you to access our scholarships and so on and so forth. A third and important reason is also shown on the next slide, which is it is our responsibility as your teachers to provide you with important assessment information. In a very recent study, in fact, that's published April 1, 2020, it appears that if we stop schooling, we will also stop providing essential information about the assessment of learning outcomes and capabilities of students. And of course, we all know for a fact that if we don't have enough assessment information, we will not know how to help students well. So it is important that you congratulate yourselves because you made the choice to continue both learning and assessment happen this school year. A final reason why we chose to continue learning is shown on the next slide. And this has something to do with one of our major advocacies at the National Teachers College. The school is always a source of strength, of connections, of relationships among students. That's why if we keep ourselves from the continuity of learning, you will suffer from some mental health related issues. And that is why later you will find out from our guidance ahead what are the opportunities that we are providing you in order to make mental health a priority even at this point. So I think given these four important reasons, we can safely say that you and I have made the right decision to choose the continuity of education. But continuing to learn is one side of the story. The other side is you need to choose how to adapt, because unless you adapt to the situation, you will not be able to maximize the opportunity for further growth. And that's what I'd like to explain on the next slide. This academic year, what the National Teachers College has done is to transition from the earlier version of alternative and flexible learning we implemented during the early days of the lockdown. That was about 5 months ago, where we implemented what we call the Enhanced Student Academic Engagement Arrangement. We are happy to tell you that we are only one of very few colleges and universities in March who managed to develop a very quick system of response in helping students cope with the challenges of learning. And based on our experience during the second semester of last school year, we will now make it a point to make education more accessible and convenient to students even on a remote learning basis, because we cannot do face-to-face learning at this point. We call this program Adaptive Community for the Continuity of Education and Student Services, or in short, ACCESS. Now, ACCESS features the following elements, as you will now see on the next slide. In the ACCESS program, the goal of every teacher in every course is to actually make use of standardized modules whether printed or the correspondence version or in the modified online version. Both types make use of modules that concentrate only on employability outcomes and competencies. You might probably have heard that the CHED and DepEd have encouraged all schools to actually concentrate only on essential learning objectives, outcomes, and competencies. We are doing the same. But at NTC, what we kept are the competencies that will be required of you when you actually undergo a job interview for a teaching position. And we will do that because that's essentially what you need to become a master of. The better news to this is the fact that because we have streamlined the learning outcomes and objectives, we will also streamline learning content to focus only on the ones that will really be important at this point. That is why we are not requiring any one of you to buy any textbook because your modules have built-in reading resources. Whether you opt for the printed correspondence or the modified online versions, you will have these resources for free. And take note, it's the experience that will matter. Do you know that you can actually create your own schedule of completing your own modules? That's why this is called a self-paced learning material, because the activities that you have here, you have command over when you can finish them. But of course, you will still be mindful of some of the deadlines that will be set, but these deadlines are very friendly. For example, in the correspondence mode, students are yet to turn in the completed modules after 6 weeks of learning. But in the modified online version, since you have capability for online connection, you will be asked to submit them in specific parts of the semester through our online learning classes. Now, on the next slide, what we would like you to understand further is that the same structure of the 18-week schedule for the semester remains true. Every 6 weeks, the term changes. So the first term is the prelims, the second term is the midterms, and the third term is the finals. If you are under modified online, you will be asked to join a Google Classroom through the links that will be published on your official Facebook group pages before the week ends, because the first day of synchronous classes will happen on September the 1st next week. This will also allow you to join our Hangouts groups per class. And this means that you will need to follow the instructions for obtaining your NTC email address through our ICT office. You could log on to our webpage to actually follow the instructions for obtaining your email addresses. Take note, because we are worried about the amount and capability for connectivity of each student, we will limit our synchronous sessions to at least 9 sessions over a period of 18 weeks. So you can only imagine that every other week there is one synchronous session during the 18-week schedule. And our application that will be used for this purpose is Google Meets. Also, your professors can have the choice to create small group meetings to guide you in the completion of your requirements, or sometimes there will be whole class updating sessions. Meantime, if you opted for correspondence, please take note that starting this week, we are sending via courier the modules of those people who wanted their modules in courier version. But whether you are doing a courier version or you will be picking them up from the National Teachers College campus in Manila, you will still have to join our Google Hangouts groups that will be created by the instructors. Because at any moment that you have connectivity, it's going to be convenient for you to get updates from your teachers. Now, there's a small group of students under correspondence who are living outside of Manila and who would like to get their modules via email. This will be done starting September the 1st. And take note, for the correspondence students, you have a total of 6 weeks to complete each module. Meantime, on the next slide, what we would like to explain to you has something to do with the way we will be distributing our printed modules. So take note, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, beginning August 27, all the way to September 5, you can come to the National Teachers College if you are a correspondence student to pick up your modules. Please present your registration form to pick up your modules. But during the next distribution, you will be using your ID. And later, we will show you through our marketing office how you will obtain your IDs. When you come to the campus, please make sure that you follow our social distancing guidelines. And again, for the email correspondence students, your modules will be distributed beginning September the 1st or as soon as your teachers are able to access your email addresses. Meantime, on the next slide, I would like to clarify that during this specific period in our education history, we will not make use of too many written exams as a basis for grading. In fact, we will be using the built-in culminating projects per module, which are very easy to do and follow. Just make sure that you spend adequate time to complete them. There are also smaller tasks or activities found in the modules that you will be required to complete. And because we want to be fair with you, we would like to obtain from you a self-assessment or self-assessment and student engagement report by the end of the semester, which will be assigned a percentage of points. This is your honest assessment of how you manage learning and at the same time, enable us to understand the difficulties that you have gone through. Now, please take note that part of the requirements, particularly for those who will be undergoing some form of laboratory or hands-on activities, there will be digital and online alternatives that will be offered. Now, on the next slide, what we want you to take note of is the guarantee that in case you will need help from any of your teachers, program heads, or deans, or other administrative offices, you can actually exhaust all possible communication means. You could call, you could text, you could send a private message, you could chat, you could email. But take note, there's a restriction. Please do that between 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, Monday through Saturday. As much as possible, we want you to do it only Monday through Friday, but if really there's a need during a weekend, then we can only give you until Saturday so that you will have enough time to also rest from your end. Now, I will end the quick tour of our academic environment at this point, and may I just tell you that saludo kami sa bawat isa sa mga bagong mag-aaral na papasok sa Tanglaw sa taong panaruan 2020-2021 sapagkat pagpapatunay ito na mayroon kayong katatagan ng loob at isip upang ipagpatuloy ang inyong pag-aaral dahil inaasam ninyo na makatutulong kayo sa inyong mga pamilya at pamayanan sa lalong madaling panahon. Kung kaya, ang pagsaludo namin sa inyong pagsali sa aming School of Teacher Education ay pagpapatunay rin na ang sistema ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas ay maaaring makapagbagong anyo ng buhay o banyuhay sa pamamagitan ninyo. Naway maging makabuluhan ang iyong paglalakbay sa Tanglaw at pagpalain tayong lahat. Welcome to the National Teachers College.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fermin, for allowing us to walking us through the academic program. At this time of crisis, NTC is committed to providing the continuity of education and student services. In fact, the head of the Office of Student Affairs, Dr. Maria Elma B. Cordero, will speak more about this and introduce the other members of the student services sector of our institution. Dr. Cordero.
Hi, good afternoon. At this moment, I am privileged to present to you the different admin offices under the student services. These are the following. The Registrar's Office takes charge of the security records and document and headed by Dr. Agnes Sunga, our registrar. Medical Clinic is tasked to promote and maintain physical health and of NTC headed by Miss Catherine Rodil. Information Technology Office, Mr. Irwin Lababit, Head of the IT Department. Library offers updated list of current collection of books to support your studies, and Mrs. Helen Correa is the head of the library. Accounting Office to assess school fees and issues financial clearance to student headed by Dr. Jennifer Buen. Scholarship Office is responsible for administering scholarship grants headed by Mr. Vincent Jerome Agustin. And Guidance Office is responsible of student psychological welfare. And Miss Grace Ayesa Bernabe is the head of the Guidance Office, while the head of the Marketing Department is Mr. Carlo Jimeno. You will get to know each office as they present to you a short introduction about their office, what they do, as we are now in the normal. Let's welcome Ma'am Agnes Sunga, the Registrar's Office.
Mabuhay and Tishans, on behalf of Dr. Agnes Sunga, a school registrar, let me read you her wonderful message for everyone. Good morning, Anticians. Good afternoon, rather. Good afternoon, Anticians. On behalf of the Office of the Registrar, we welcome you and thank you for choosing NTC as your school. Our office serves as the custodian of academic records of all students of this institution. We, at the Office of the Registrar, are responsible for maintaining the integrity of the records under its care and making them available upon request of our clients. The Office of the Registrar serves the students during enrollment and during their entire residency. It also provides technical services such as the preparation and issuance of transcript of records, certifications, clearances, honorable dismissals, diplomas, and evaluates and maintains student records. Typically, this office processes registration requests, schedules of classes, and maintains class lists, enforces the rules for entering grades in the school grading system, and keeps a permanent record of grades and marks of the students. In the normal operation of this office, documents may be requested over the counter. However, during this pandemic period, all transactions are being done online. There are available links over the NTC website for all type of requests for this office. Inuulit ko, bilang school registrar ng paaralang ito, kayo ay buong puso naming tinatanggap at naway maging kapaki-pakinabang ang inyong pag-aaral sa NTC. Kaagapay niyo ang opisinang ito sa pagtupad ng inyong pangarap na makatapos ng pag-aaral. End of message. Ako po si Charles Adrian Abuda, kaagapay ng punong tagatala at ang opisina nito ay binabati kayo ng maligayang pagdating sa National Teachers College. Mabuhay ang kabataang may alam.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to National Teachers College. I am Catherine Rudil, School Nurse Supervisor, and we're always ready to assist you for any health-related issues. Our doctors are available to assist and guide you. We will make sure that in National Teachers College community, you are in good hand and in good health. If you have gynae-related issue, please feel free to consult with us because our OB/GYN doctor is always ready to assist you. Same as our medical doctor and our dental and with our dentist. Because it is our duty to check sanitation, please feel free to talk to us for any concern and improvement. Being in health services department, we are more concerned with your health and safety. And because of that, we are presently battling COVID-19. We will just present to you a brief discussion about COVID-19. Next slide, please. So COVID-19, what is COVID-19? Next slide, please. So COVID-19 can be with or without symptoms. Maybe a patient will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatments. So most likely, some of our patients are having severe symptoms and some are having mild symptoms only. Next slide, please. So how it is transmitted? COVID-19 virus spread primarily through droplets of saliva or discharge from nose. So usually, it's being transmitted through direct contact and respiratory droplets. Next slide. And signs and symptoms, like fever of 37.5 degrees Celsius and above, easy fatigability, sore throat, dry cough, aches and pains, diarrhea. Next slide po. Then COVID-19, a patient can suffer also from headache, then loss of smell and taste, difficulty of breathing, a rash on the skin and discoloration of fingers or toes, chest pain, loss of speech or movement. Next slide. So mostly po, some other symptoms are not being felt by a patient. So if those symptoms, not all those symptoms are being felt by a patient. Sometimes it's only cough or colds, or sometimes sore throat, sometimes throat itchiness. So kung may na-feel po kayo ng ganon, better to stay home. So there are ways to prevent COVID-19. So the first one is stay home as much as you can. Keep a safe distance. Wash your hands often. Cover your cough. And if you're sick, call ahead. Next slide po. Then, stay at home meaning, kapag naramdaman nyo na po yung isang symptoms, so wag na po kayong mag-conclude na baka meron lang kayong ginawa or meron lang kayong kinain na malamig or ininom na malamig. So kung na-feel nyo po yung sore throat or konting ubo, better to do self-quarantine for 14 days. However, if you're 21 years old below, or 60 years old and above, you're totally not allowed to go out of the house. Pero with some exemption po. Minsan po kasi walang lalabas talaga para dun sa bumili ng mga basic necessities. So yun po yung mga exemption na sinasabi natin. Next slide po. So the safest way to do is keep a safe distance, wash hand often, cover your cough. Kung sakali pong lalabas po kayo, usually po kasi ang contact po para pagka na-acquire nyo po yung infection is 15 minutes and above. So as much as possible po, minsan di natin maiiwasan, especially kapag pupunta tayo sa isang palengke, natatagalan po tayo more than 15 minutes. So better to keep safe po by using face mask po and then social distancing. Then magdala po kayo ng alcohol. Next slide po. So if you're not feeling well, call ahead to your physician and inform him of your illness. If in case po na masama na po yung pakiramdam nyo, yun po yung pinapaulit-ulit namin, better stay at home to prevent transmission of COVID-19. Then, observe nyo po yung sickness nyo. Kung sakaling sore throat lang, tingnan nyo po kung magiging severe, or kung hindi naman po, mag-prolong, mas maganda po. Next slide po. Then dito po sa NTC, since nag-ooperate po kami, may re-entry protocol po tayo if in case po na meron kayong kailangang i-process dito sa school. So general rules on re-entry, no face mask and face shield, no entry, frequent hand washing, social and physical distancing. If you are sick, stay at home. So kung sakali po na inuubo po kayo or may lagnat po, wag na po kayong mag-attempt pumunta dito, otherwise hindi rin po kayo makakapasok. Then refer to awareness campaign sent through email. Much better po na dun po kayo parati magre-rely sa email or dun sa NTC community na pinupost po para po updated po kayo kung ano pong nangyayari. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyo at mabuhay po.
Gong?
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay, okay.
Okay na, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. I am Bong. I'm the IT head of the IT department. And we are basically in charge of all the IT related matters in NTC, basically on IT governance, infrastructure, and functionality. Now, since we are all online, allow us to share with you quickly some tips on how to be safe online because during this time, napakarami pong hackers. So our acronym is adventure. Now, let's start. For A, avoid downloading and installing unnecessary programs. If it's just for entertainment purposes or out of curiosity, we suggest na you don't download or install. Now, if there's a need for you to install an application, we highly suggest that you do some research first, go to forums, and make sure that the application that you're going to install is safe. And then do not use accounts of other people. That's for letter D. In the real world, this is a crime, and the same thing applies in the cyber world. Now, to avoid this, para hindi kayo maging biktima, always sign out from your account. Now, this is true especially if, for example, at home, share kayo ng mga devices ninyo. So, do not use accounts of other people and always sign out after using your account. And then for V, validate, always validate and carefully scrutinize emails and websites. If you receive emails that you think are not for you or not important or doesn't do anything, you have nothing to do with it, just ignore, just delete, or possible you block the person. This thing applies also sa kahit sa FB. There are a lot of hackers there who's luring you to give them your accounts. And then for E, engage with fellow network or internet users with care and respect. So even always apply this. And then for letter N, this is very rampant now. I was a victim also. Never give out personal details, especially yung mga bank account details ninyo, unless the site is verified, secured. The rule here is when in doubt, don't give out. Okay. When people get accounts from you, especially yung mga bank accounts, it's phishing. Phishing is actually an online budol-budol. So don't be a victim. And then for letter T, you've heard this many times already. Think before you click. Don't be a victim. Don't bite the bait or don't click the bait. It's also very important that you update your operating system, especially if you're using Windows. So especially when Windows releases patches, this means they've seen vulnerabilities. So even if you're very mindful of what you click, if your operating system is vulnerable, so there's still a chance na mahahack kayo. And then you've seen this many times also, some advertisements. So refrain from clicking advertisements, especially if they do not concern you. Next po is for sa email. If you have concerns, just email christian.cbd@ntsedu.ph or that's me, id.lababit@ntcedu.ph or it.support@ntc.edu.ph. Now the question is, especially for the new students, sir, what is our email address and how do we activate it? Sir, may next slide po ba? Okay, so this slide actually, you will see this. This is posted on Facebook. So it's very important that you regularly visit our official Facebook and our website. So for the student number of the new students, you will just have 7 digits. Again, for the new students, 7 digits na lang. If you still have 10 digits with you, that's just the reference number for now. So our email is hosted by Google. So, and for the temporary password, we will just use one temporary password. We will just stick with ABCD1234 temporary password. So how do we activate? Next slide, please. Okay, just go to Google or mail.google.com, and then your email will be your student number followed by @ntcedu.ph in our example, 1 to 8 yung kanyang student number. So at ntc.edu.ph, and then next slide please. Okay, then you just have to type the temporary password. Yung binibigay namin sa inyo is ABCD1234. And then click next. Next slide, please. Okay, after typing your temporary password, you just need to click accept, and then next slide, please. After clicking accept, Google will now ask you to type your new password kasi yung binigay namin kanina is just a temporary password. After that, your account is activated already. Now, if you have concerns, hindi pa rin kayo makapag-activate, that's when you email us and then we'll send you a link. So, that's it. Thank you very much po.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Engineer Rolly Arcega. I'm your Facilities and Security Chief. Since you're only having an online classes, you're all assured that there'll be no interruption because of power shortage or whatsoever. Because we're equipped with a genset, 24/7 power supply. So there'll be no problem during brownouts. I would like to share to you some of our activities, just in case you'll be coming to our campus. And these are the following. For workplace safety and sanitation measures, we provided alcohol dispensers in strategic areas and offices. All washrooms are provided with hand soaps. A unidirectional flow of traffic is implemented also in stairways and hallways where possible. You will notice an arrow signages in the floorings, including in the walls, so you will not get lost. Use of elevators is discouraged if needed. Only a maximum 2 occupants are permitted at a time. We do sanitation also of all common areas with disinfectant, particularly for high traffic areas such as lobbies and hallways, as well as doorknobs, light switches, handles, armrests, tabletops, ledges, railings, and other surfaces which are easily contaminated. Then frequently handled objects such as doorknobs are disinfected more frequently to avoid contamination. That's all, and welcome again to NTC.
A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. I'm Mrs. Helen Correa, your head librarian. Libraries are among the institutions that were affected by this present pandemic situation. No face-to-face contact, meaning the library is closed. One thing is certain, though libraries must adapt to the changes that brought about by the ECQ in order to be relevant and to survive. In spite of this, the National Teachers College sustain and will support the best education by providing online services. The National Teachers College online library portal includes the free online resources or website. We have also the EBSCO journal, the pathfinder of unpublished materials arranged according to subject areas. This contains thesis and dissertation and other research. And soon to be included in the library online portal is our updated collections, which is the OPAC or Online Public Access Catalog, wherein you can browse or select updated collections of our library. what do you want or what do you expect more in our libraries? Now we are going to have an ebook and also a digitization of unpublished materials. These are soon to be uh, purchased or published. Now on your screen, these are only a brief information on how to borrow and return books in the library. Again, in the library department, we continue to strive and venture for a new normal environment. Any queries or questions regarding reference materials, you may contact us at telephone number 8734-5601 or local 230 or email me at xmc@ntc.edu.ph. Welcome, freshmen and old students. Rest assured that we are going to push with our library virtual. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, NTCians. Welcome to the family. On behalf of our Vice President for Finance, Dr. Buen, I am Marjorie Ann Beladad, the Chief Accountant of NTC. Basically, our department is responsible for the planning and control of the financial resources of the school. We are also assigned to identify and implement the strategies to ensure that affordable education are given to all NTCians. We are also tasked to assess and collect your tuition fees as well as the other student-related fees. So for our department, remember the following. Integrate in your calendar the payment schedules for tuition and other fees. You may access your payment schedules in your student portal. Also, as we are under pandemic, we are gearing towards technological advances and online payments. So make use of the collection platforms offered by schools such as EasyPay, which is under implementation right now, and keep posted to the NTC page as we announce the start of the implementation of the Dragon Pay. Also, please check carefully the details of your validated receipts and report discrepancies if any. If you wish to ask for an official receipt, kindly email us at accounting.support@ntc.edu.ph. Also, observe proper instructions during settlement of fees. This is very important to ensure that your payments will be validated accordingly to your specific accounts. So please ensure to use the proper transaction numbers. Remember to watch out for the accounting announcements in the NTC page and transact with respect at the accounting office or when emailing us. Also, attend to the payment terms on installments and settle your balance at the end of every semester in order for you to be cleared and in order for you to enroll during the following semester. Note that you need to present your official receipt to validate a refund if overpayment was made. And I want to clarify that the general rule regarding overpayment is it will be credited for the following semester. Again, I'll clarify that the general rule for the overpayment is it will be credited during your following semester. So this is a case-to-case basis, just in case you need a refund. And lastly, take good care of your official receipts. So that's all. Welcome to the family, Anticians.
Isang magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, Inticians. Ako po si Sir Vincent Jerome Agustin ng NTC Scholarships Office. At wini-welcome ko kayo ngayong hapon na ito sa bagong academic year 2020-2021. Welcome to National Teachers College. Ang NTC Scholarships Office ay ang nag-aasikaso ng mga scholarship program at grants, pati na rin ang mga educational subsidy ng national government. Dahil ngayon tayo ay nasa pandemya, ang NTC Scholarships Office ay may mensahe para sa inyo. Ito ay hope. Kahit tayo ay nasa pandemya dulot ng COVID-19, huwag tayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Dapat lagi tayong may pag-asa or hope. Yan po ay H, help the students to pursue their studies. O, offer different scholarship programs to the student tree. P, partner with different public and private organizations that will provide additional support to the students. And letter E, empower scholars to be a role model in our institution. Ano-ano ba ang mga programa na binibigay ng NTC Scholarships Office para sa aming mga estudyante? Una po, ang academic scholarship. Meron po tayong tinatawag na academic scholarship. Ang programang ito ay naglalayong makapagbigay ng scholarship para po sa mga estudyante na may excellent academic performance. Ang grade requirement para po sa academic scholarship, ang dapat po na average ay A- at no grade lower than B. Next slide please. Ayan, makikita po sa inyong screen ang grade requirement para po sa academic scholarship. Tapos, dapat po ang mga applicants para po sa academic scholarship ay walang disciplinary record mula po sa Office of the Student Affairs. Lahat po ng aplikante para po sa scholarship na ito ay irarank ayon sa kanilang general weighing average kung sino po yung pinakamataas hanggang sa pinakamababa. Ang mapipiling grantees po ay mabibigyan ng 100% or 50% discount sa kanilang basic tuition fee. Ang scholarship na ito ay limited slots only. Sumunod ay ang Student Assistantship Program or SAP. Ang Student Assistantship Program ay isang programa ng NTC na naglalayong makapagbigay ng tulong sa mga estudyante na may pangangailangang pinansyal. Ang grade requirement para dito ay at least B ang inyong average or 88 to 90 with no grade lower than C+ or 80 to 84. Dapat ang inyong family income, monthly family income ay 12,000 pababa. Higit sa lahat, wala pong disciplinary record mula sa Office of the Student Affairs. Ang mapipiling grantee para po sa Student Assistantship Program ay bibigyan Ayan, ulitin ko po, ang mapipili pong grantee para po sa Student Assistantship Program ay bibigyan ng 100% discount. Ito po ay limited slot. Sunod naman po ay ang ating Student Loan, Tertiary Education Subsidy or TES. Ang TES po ay isang government grants in aid program na naglalayong makapagbigay ng educational subsidy sa mga estudyanteng nasa poorest of the poor alinsunod sa listahanan ng DSWD. Ang mapipili pong grantees para po sa programang ito ay mabibigyan ng 60,000 pesos na educational subsidy kada taon. So ngayon po, open po ang application para po sa program na ito. Hanggang August 29 po pwedeng mag-apply. Bisitahin po ang Facebook page ng NTC Scholarships Office para po makapag-apply sa Tertiary Education Subsidy. Next naman po ay ang ating Student Loan Program. Ang Student Loan Program po ng NTC ay in partnership po sa Bukas PH. Ito pong Student Loan Program na ito ay isang programa na kung saan pwede po kayong mag-loan ng inyong tuition fee at babayaran nyo po ito sa loob ng isang buong taon or 12-month installment scheme na mayroong 1.5 monthly interest. Kung kayo po ay interesado dito, maaari nyo pong bisitahin ang www.bukas.ph/ntc. Kung kayo po ay may tanong tungkol sa scholarship at iba pang programa ng Scholarships Office, bisitahin lamang po ang aming Facebook page sa www.facebook.com/NTC Scholarships Office. Maraming salamat at welcome sa Tanglaw.
Good afternoon, students, and welcome to the Guidance Office. I am Ma'am Grace ISSC Bernabe, and I'm the head of the Guidance Office. Guidance Office is a student-centered office where we provide basic services such as counseling. Counseling is considered the heart of the guidance services. Information service through different lectures or webinars we produce are geared towards students' academic, career, and personal social development. Another important service is the referral service which is a kind of service given by the guidance office by referring a student to another professional or agency in case a student's need cannot be aided by the school, as in the case of a psychiatric evaluation. At present, I am happy to announce that since we are now in the new normal, these services can still be availed online. Counseling online is a new means to still provide counseling to our students. You can message us via our guidance FB page by typing in the search box Guidance NTC or Guidance Office Dash National Teachers College. And please drop us a message and we will schedule you for an appointment for any of your concerns. By the way, the Students at Risk referral system, which we launched in 2011, has helped a lot of students who have problems in attendance and punctuality. In this program, we ask your professors to refer students to us who are showing these problems, and we schedule them, the students, for online counseling. But of course, in the past, we do it face-to-face. As for the information service, our office is very active in social media, specifically our Facebook page, where we prepare different life skills lessons which can help boost your mental health. Every day, we have different themes for our lessons, which will inspire you to become more resilient and dedicated to your studies. Different activities of the office are also posted on our FB page. Webinars related to your academic, career, and personal social development are also arranged and delivered to you through our Links for Learning program, which was our strategic plan, considering that we are in the now normal. In this case, PowerPoint presentation of supplementary lessons related to your programs, made of course by your guidance counselors, are delivered straight to your email addresses through the help, of course, of your professors. And last but not the least, I am also proud to say that for this year, we managed to prepare your college adjustment module, targeting your basic adjustment needs as college students. This contains engaging lessons and activities for you to get to know yourselves even more, as well as encouraging you to establish valuable connections within the NTC community and beyond, while of course enjoying college life. It is our hope that you will maximize the learning you will get from our module. These are exciting things you can expect from the guidance office from here on. Please do not hesitate to seek assistance. We are just message away. Thank you very much from the guidance office and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. I am the head of the Student Affairs, Dr. Maria L. Macordero, at your service. This office encourages students to participate actively in co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Every month, there are online activities for all students of NTC posted in our page, OSA page, and even in NTC page. Knowledge, talents, and potential of NTCians shall continue even in the time of pandemic. The office will help you on delivering your leadership abilities through organizations. Be an active member of clubs and organizations of your choice. Your school has two major organizations, BE Ed Society, an organization composed of BE Ed students, and BSE Educators Council, an organization composed of BSE students from all levels. This composed of the following clubs: English Club, Gabay ng Wika Club, Home Economics Club, Mathematics Club, Physical Education Clubs, Science Club, Social Studies Achiever Circle. Those organizations initiate activities that will tap and help and develop the potentials of their members. You can also join the interest club and organization such as Hataw Club. Kung magaling kang magsayaw, you can join. Enhance the dancing skill of the students. Likhaan It enhanced and nurtured the craftsmanship of students through expressing their hidden talents through drawing, painting, sculpture, and photography. SIS, Samahan ng Ikatlong Salinlahi, an organization upholding the rights of LGBTQ community. It upholds equality among genders. The NTC College Y Club is a service arm of YMCA Manila. It seeks to provide opportunities for the members to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially, and to become proficient Christian democratic leadership so as to serve God, their country, their fellow man in the best possible way. The NTC Red Cross Youth Council, or RCYC, an organization whose member is open to all regardless of race, creed, or social status. Primarily, principle of RCYC is humanitarian services, which includes service to fellow men. Kabataang Rizalista, that upholds and honors the ideals of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. It envisions to produce students who can be like Rizal, freedom-loving and nationalistic, ensuring maximum service to the school, country, and God. And of course, we have Fiat Lux, the NTC official publication. They also observe orderliness in the college to promote the accomplishment of schoolwork and create atmosphere conducive to learning. This ensures development of high standard of decency, morality, and good behavior among the student. That is why you must know the different school policies, rules, and regulation of the institution. Don't post anything harsh, rude content that may affect a person's mental health in any form of social media platform. Be reminded of Republic Act 10627, cyberbullying. Cyberbullies shall face penalty of fines ranging from 50,000 to 100,000 pesos or imprisonment between 6 months and 6 years or both. That discretion of the court. That's why here at NTC, we unite against cyberbullying. All of you will be given a copy of student handbook for free as soon as face-to-face will finally allow by the government. But for the meantime, you can download it. Just reach us through our Facebook account, OSA NTC or NTC OSA. You can also reach us through our email address, osa@ntc.edu.ph, and we will give you the link for you to download the student handbook. Any problem, concerns, or issue you may have in the future, do not hesitate to reach us, the Office of the Student Affairs, through our email, through our Facebook, or you can call us at 0927-7938-681. Here at NTC, we will make your college life enjoyable. With joy in our hearts, we welcome you to the National Teachers College. Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning, guys. So I'm Carlo Jimeno. I'm the Director for Marketing and Admissions of National Teachers College. All right, so I would like to welcome you all and thank you for choosing National Teachers College. Thank you for putting your trust in us. I would like to invite all new students now to join the National Teachers College official community group. It's at www.facebook.com/NTC official. This is where we post our announcements relating to our to your stay at the National Teachers College, and anything related to your studies here at the National Teachers College. Now, I would like to make a clarification regarding your student numbers. The student numbers reflected in your first registration form is just a temporary student number, and once you already paid the down payment and it has been validated by our accounting department, it will be changed to your permanent student number. This can be accessed through your portal or the student portal. The student portal can be accessed through our website. It's www.utc.edu.ph. ntc.edu.ph. There is a button there that says Student Portal. Your username is your temporary student number, and your password is your surname, all small letters. And then you will see there all the updates regarding your payments and your updated student number, which is going to be your permanent student number already. All right, now I would also like to invite everybody to process their IDs. So it's also posted in our Facebook page and our website, sure, and your sample signature. So where can you use this ID? So aside from using it at entering National Teachers College or transacting your in transactions at the National Teachers College when face-to-face transactions are allowed already by IATF, this can also be used when transacting with our different partners. Like for now, we have partnership with Globe, Home Credit, Skybees, and Zenshin Corporation. Globe has created different data packages for National Teachers College students and the rest of Yuchenko Ayala schools, wherein you could take advantage or you could get lower data plans. For home credit, you would be able to get a laptop or buy a laptop on credit. You don't need a credit card for that one. Basta you can go to the home credit partner retailer, and then you could purchase a laptop at 0% interest. You could also take advantage of the lower price of Skybees School Connect, no, by Skybiz Philippines. And you could also buy laptops at Zenshin Systems Corporation at a lower price than the suggested retail prices at different malls or different stores. So we're also working on creating more partnerships so that you're going to have a lot of exclusive deals. So as soon as we have more partnerships, we're going to be announcing it through our social networking sites and of course our website. Right? If you have a problem, you can contact the different departments of the National Teachers College. Later on, we're also going to be posting the directory of the academic offices. No, I would just like to time before we could respond to you because right now we're really bombarded with a lot of emails, a lot of messages, but we're trying our best really to get back to you as soon as possible. So with that, I welcome you all to the National Teachers College, and we really look forward for you not just to have a very good education, but we're going to have some fun as well. We're going to have a lot of lineups of student activities in cooperation with the Office of Student Affairs and the different offices of the National Teachers College. So while face-to-face is not yet allowed, we're going to do it virtually. And just stay tuned for our announcements, especially for our foundation month this coming September. So we have a lot of exciting activities for you. So thank you and welcome to National Teachers College.
Thank you, Sir Carlo, and also thank you, Ma'am Babes, and to all the office heads. Please take note that you are now seeing on your screen the official link to the School of Teacher Education Facebook group. So if you're not yet members of this Facebook group, please do so, since most of the announcements relative to the School of Teacher Education will be posted in this FB group. So with that, please take note, our dear students, that for your other concerns, log on to our official school webpage for specific contact information of our administrative offices, the one that you saw a while ago, and also the contact details of the program heads. So you may reach out to them for anything that you may need. Okay, so as you are now officially part of the NTC family, we want you to start learning the official NTC hymn. And this officially ends our orientation this afternoon, and we hope to see you soon in our virtual gatherings. Again, welcome to school year 2020-2021, and welcome to Tanglao.
mananatiling